Every day we make choices, some small, some seemingly insignificant. But it's these small habits, repeated consistently, that shape our lives in profound ways. The things we do today, no matter how tiny, ripple through our future, creating the foundation for the results we desire. Take a moment and think about the habits that have become second nature to you. These are the little actions that over time add up to significant changes. Whether it's the way you speak to yourself, the thoughts you choose to entertain, or the steps you take toward your goals, these habits are the seeds you're planting in the garden of your life. Now, let's be clear. No one transforms overnight. Lasting change happens incrementally, often so slowly that you may not even notice it at first. But just like a plant growing from a seed, the growth is happening beneath the surface. It's the water, the sunshine, the nurturing care you give it daily that leads to something beautiful over time. So what are the small habits you can begin today that will lead to big results? Maybe it's starting your day with a positive affirmation. Perhaps it's taking 5 minutes to focus on gratitude, or spending a few minutes in stillness, allowing your mind to rest and reset. It could even be as simple as committing to speaking kindly to yourself, shifting from criticism to encouragement. The key is consistency. Small positive actions repeated each day compound over time. They shift your energy, your mindset, and ultimately your life. What feels like a minor habit today could be the very thing that changes everything tomorrow. You see, you don't need to overhaul your life all at once. You don't need grand gestures to see big results. What you need is commitment to the little things, those everyday actions that align with the person you want to become. So start today. Take one small step toward your dreams, your healing, your growth. Embrace the power of small habits and trust in the process. Soon you'll look back and realize that the seemingly tiny choices you made each day were the ones that led to big, life-changing results. Consistency is the quiet force behind every transformation. It's not the grand gestures or the once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that shape our lives the most, but rather the small, steady actions we take every single day. Whether we realize it or not, our lives are a reflection of what we consistently do. This principle applies to every area: our health, relationships, career, mindset, and personal growth. The key to meaningful and lasting change lies in the power of repetition, and it is through consistency that we create transformation. When we think of transformation, we often imagine drastic changes. We think we need to overhaul our routines, completely change our habits, or take on massive projects. But the truth is, true transformation happens when we focus on the little things we do daily. The small choices we make, compounded over time, shape the results we see. These small, seemingly insignificant actions have a snowball effect, gradually gaining momentum until they result in big changes. Consider how nature operates. A tree doesn't grow from a seed overnight. It needs to be nurtured with sunlight, water, and time. It's not one big rainstorm that makes it flourish, but the consistent nurturing it receives day after day. In much the same way, our personal growth and success depend on the small habits we cultivate regularly. The key is to keep watering the seeds of change, even when we can't yet see the growth. Over time, these small actions begin to create real, tangible results. Consistency brings with it another hidden gift: momentum. At first, when we adopt a new habit or routine, it can feel like hard work. We might not see immediate results, and that can be discouraging. But if we persist, something powerful happens. We build momentum. It becomes easier to continue the habit because it starts to feel natural. What was once difficult or unfamiliar turns into something we do effortlessly. It becomes a part of who we are. This momentum carries us forward, and soon the habit requires less conscious effort. It becomes automatic, part of our routine, and an integral part of our transformation. One reason why consistency is so important is because of how our minds and bodies respond to repetition. Our brains are designed to reinforce patterns, and when we repeat an action consistently, we strengthen the neural pathways associated with that behavior. This is how habits are formed. At first, a new habit may feel awkward or challenging, but as we continue to practice it, our brains adapt and the behavior becomes second nature. This is the foundation of personal transformation. Moreover, consistency creates trust and confidence within ourselves. Each time we follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, we build self-trust. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of sticking with something even when it's difficult or inconvenient. Over time, this trust transforms into self-confidence. We start to believe in our ability to change because we've shown ourselves that we can follow through on our intentions. Consistency is not just about the actions we take, it's about reinforcing our belief in ourselves and our capacity to grow. Another important aspect of consistency is its ability to create sustainable change. Quick fixes and short-term efforts often lead to temporary results. We might see a burst of progress, but without the foundation of consistent effort, those results can fade just as quickly. Sustainable change requires patience and persistence. When we commit to consistent action, we create lasting results because we've built the habit into our lives. The changes we make become ingrained in who we are, ensuring that the transformation endures. Of course, being consistent doesn't mean we have to be perfect. Life will inevitably throw challenges and disruptions our way, but the beauty of consistency is that it allows for flexibility. Even if we miss a day or face a setback, we can return to our routine the next day. What matters most is that we keep going, even when it's difficult. Consistency is not about never making a mistake. It's about showing up regularly, doing the work, and staying committed to the process. In the end, consistency is a long-term investment in ourselves. It's a commitment to our goals, our growth, and our well-being. The daily habits we create may seem small in the moment, but over time they compound and lead to powerful, lasting transformation. By focusing on steady, incremental progress, we build the life we desire. Each day, each small step brings us closer to our vision. So trust the process. Even when the results aren't immediate, keep showing up. Keep making those small, consistent choices that align with the person you want to become. Over time, those choices will add up to something much bigger than you imagined, a profound and lasting transformation that's rooted in the quiet, powerful force of consistency. The idea that small actions lead to big changes might seem counterintuitive at first, especially when we're conditioned to believe that transformation requires significant, immediate shifts. However, the truth is that lasting change is often born from the smallest, most consistent efforts we make over time. These small actions, though seemingly insignificant in the moment, have a cumulative effect that can reshape our lives in profound ways. Think of any major accomplishment or significant transformation you've experienced, whether it's improving your health, advancing in your career, or strengthening relationships. The results likely didn't happen because of one grand action. Instead, they came from a series of small, repeated choices. The power of small actions lies in their consistency. They are manageable, sustainable, and most importantly, they create momentum. When we focus on small steps, we remove the pressure of drastic change, making the journey more enjoyable and less overwhelming. Take, for example, the process of learning a new skill. If you want to learn to play an instrument, it's not about practicing for hours on end in one sitting and then putting the instrument away for weeks. It's about practicing a little each day. Maybe you start with just 10 minutes a day. In the beginning, it may not seem like much, but over time, those 10-minute sessions add up. This is the power of small, deliberate actions. They don't overwhelm you, yet they build up over time, leading to significant results. The reason small actions are so effective is that they create habits. When you commit to small, consistent steps, you start to shift your behavior in a way that feels natural and sustainable. These habits become part of your routine, and once established, they operate almost automatically. You no longer need to rely on willpower or motivation to take action. It becomes second nature. This is one of the greatest benefits of focusing on small actions. They help you establish long-lasting habits that lead to big changes without feeling like an uphill battle. Another powerful aspect of small actions is their ability to create momentum. When you take even a small step toward your goals, it generates a sense of accomplishment. This feeling of progress, no matter how small, boosts your confidence and motivates you to take the next step. It's like a snowball effect. The more small actions you take, the more progress you make, and the more inspired you become to continue. Over time, what started as a small action can snowball into significant change because the momentum keeps building. Small actions also help us overcome resistance. Often, when we think about making a big change, the sheer magnitude of the task can be overwhelming. We procrastinate because we don't know where to start, or we fear we won't be able to maintain the effort required for such a big shift. But when we break the goal down into small, manageable steps, it becomes much less intimidating. You don't need to figure out how to achieve the entire goal all at once. You just need to take the next small step. Each step moves you forward, and before you know it, you've made significant progress. This approach also allows us to stay flexible and adaptable. Life is unpredictable and circumstances can change unexpectedly. By focusing on small actions, we give ourselves the freedom to adjust our approach without feeling like we're abandoning our goals. If something unexpected happens, we can scale back, refocus, and still move forward with small steps. This flexibility ensures that we stay on track without feeling the pressure of perfection. Moreover, small actions contribute to our long-term success by building resilience. When we take small, consistent actions, we develop a sense of discipline and persistence. We learn to show up even when we don't feel like it, even when progress feels slow. Over time, this resilience becomes one of our greatest strengths, allowing us to push through challenges and setbacks with confidence. The ability to persevere, even when the results aren't immediate, is a direct result of the small actions we take daily. Lastly, small actions help to shift our mindset. Each time we take a step toward our goals, no matter how small, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of change. This belief is crucial for long-term success. When we see ourselves as capable and empowered, we approach challenges with a sense of possibility rather than defeat. The more small actions we take, the more we strengthen this mindset and the more we align with the person we want to become. In the end, it's not the size of the action that matters, but the consistency with which it's taken. Big changes don't happen overnight. They are the result of small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. Whether you're working toward personal growth, health, or success, remember that the journey doesn't require massive leaps. It requires small actions repeated with intention. These small actions will eventually lead to the big changes you seek, transforming your life in ways you may not even have imagined at the start. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our entire reality. Our inner dialogue is the constant conversation running through our minds, influencing how we perceive ourselves, others, and the world around us. So it's easy to overlook because it often operates on autopilot, but it has a profound impact on our emotions, decisions, and overall well-being. Shifting this inner dialogue is one of the most powerful things we can do to transform our lives, because the words we choose to tell ourselves are either lifting us up or holding us back. For many people, the inner dialogue tends to be more critical than encouraging. We often say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone else. Imagine telling a friend, "You're not good enough," or "You're going to fail." You'd never dream of doing that, but many people speak to themselves that way every day, often without even realizing it. Over time, these negative thoughts can become deeply ingrained, reinforcing limiting beliefs about who we are and what we're capable of. If left unchecked, this kind of inner dialogue can create a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. Shifting your inner dialogue from negative to positive is not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being aware of how you speak to yourself and choosing words that support your growth and well-being rather than undermine them. It's about practicing self-compassion and encouragement, just as you would with a close friend. By doing this, you create a more empowering narrative that builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of possibility in your life. The first step in shifting your inner dialogue is awareness. Start paying attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, especially when you're faced with challenges or setbacks. What do you say to yourself when things don't go as planned? What kind of language do you use when you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or disappointed? If your inner voice tends to be harsh or critical, simply acknowledging that is a powerful first step toward change. Awareness gives you the opportunity to catch these negative thoughts and redirect them. Once you become aware of your inner dialogue, the next step is to challenge and reframe the negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking something like, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up," take a moment to question the validity of that thought. Is it really true, or is it just a conditioned response that you've grown used to over time? More often than not, these negative thoughts are exaggerations or distortions of reality. By questioning them, you can begin to weaken their hold on you. After challenging the negative thought, replace it with something more constructive and supportive. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," try saying, "I'm doing my best, and that's enough for today," or "I'm capable of learning and growing." Instead of "I always mess things up," you might say, "I'm learning from my mistakes, and each one brings me closer to success." These alternative statements don't deny the challenges you face, but they frame them in a way that supports your growth and resilience. Reframing your thoughts takes practice. It's not something that happens overnight, and there will be times when the old negative dialogue creeps back in. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes to shift your thinking. Over time, you'll find that your default inner dialogue becomes more supportive and encouraging, helping you face challenges with greater confidence and optimism. Another important aspect of shifting your inner dialogue is self-compassion. Many of us are quick to forgive others, but hold ourselves to impossibly high standards. When we fall short, we can be incredibly hard on ourselves, blaming ourselves for every misstep. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in the same situation. It means recognizing that making mistakes is part of being human, and that you are deserving of patience and grace. To cultivate self-compassion, try to replace harsh self-judgment with understanding. When you make a mistake or face a setback, instead of saying, "I'm such a failure," try saying, "This is hard, but I'm learning," or "Everyone makes mistakes, and this is part of my growth." By offering yourself kindness and encouragement, you create an internal environment that supports healing and resilience rather than one that keeps you stuck in guilt or shame. Shifting your inner dialogue also means learning to celebrate your progress. Too often we focus on what's not going well or where we've fallen short, but we rarely take the time to acknowledge our achievements and growth. Start paying attention to the small wins in your life, the steps you've taken toward your goals, the challenges you've overcome, the progress you've made. When you celebrate your victories, no matter how small, you reinforce a positive narrative that fuels your motivation and self-belief. In the end, the words you speak to yourself matter deeply. They shape your self-image, your emotions, and the way you move through the world. By shifting your inner dialogue to one of compassion, encouragement, and support, you can create a more positive, empowered mindset that allows you to thrive. It's not about being perfect, it's about being kind to yourself, recognizing your worth, and choosing thoughts that help you grow into the person you want to become. Focusing on daily positivity is one of the most transformative habits you can cultivate. Life is filled with challenges, uncertainties, and sometimes overwhelming circumstances, but how we approach each day can drastically shift our overall experience. By making the conscious decision to focus on the positive, we create an environment that nurtures our emotional and mental well-being, allows us to face difficulties with resilience, and opens our minds to opportunities and growth. At its core, focusing on positivity isn't about ignoring the hardships or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about making a deliberate choice to direct your attention toward what is uplifting, empowering, and joyful, even in the face of adversity. Our minds are naturally wired to focus on problems and threats, a survival mechanism inherited from our ancestors. However, in the modern world, this tendency can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and negative thinking patterns if left unchecked. The good news is that we can train our minds to break this cycle and develop a more positive, optimistic outlook through daily practice. One of the first steps in cultivating daily positivity is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you make it a habit to regularly acknowledge the things you're grateful for, you begin to see how much goodness surrounds you, even in the smallest of things. It could be as simple as appreciating a sunny day, a kind word from a friend, or the taste of your morning coffee. By actively seeking out these moments of gratitude, you train your brain to recognize and appreciate the positives in your life. Over time, this practice becomes a natural way of seeing the world through a lens of abundance rather than scarcity. Another powerful tool for focusing on positivity is positive self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has a profound impact on how you feel and how you navigate the world. Negative self-talk, such as saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up," reinforces feelings of inadequacy and hopelessness. In contrast, positive self-talk phrases like "I'm doing my best" or "I am capable of growth" can boost your confidence, motivation, and sense of possibility. By becoming mindful of your inner dialogue and consciously shifting it toward encouragement and support, you create an internal environment that fosters positivity. Visualization is another technique that helps in maintaining daily positivity. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing positive outcomes, your goals being achieved, or simply feeling happy and content. When you visualize positive scenarios, you engage your mind and body in a way that makes those feelings more tangible. Visualization primes your brain to recognize opportunities and solutions that align with your positive outlook, reinforcing the belief that good things are possible and within reach. It's a way of setting the tone for the day and approaching it with an attitude of optimism and possibility. Daily positivity also involves the practice of mindfulness. When we're mindful, we become fully present in the moment without judgment. This allows us to experience life as it is, rather than getting caught up in negative thought spirals or anxieties about the future. Mindfulness encourages us to observe our thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. By practicing mindfulness, we can better manage stress and anxiety, which often come from dwelling on negative thoughts. Instead, we can focus on what's happening right now, in this moment, and find peace in the present. Positivity isn't just about what's going on inside your mind, it's also about the environment you create around you. Surrounding yourself with positive people, inspiring content, and uplifting activities can greatly influence your mood and mindset. Seek out relationships that encourage growth and positivity. Engage in activities that bring you joy, whether it's a hobby, spending time in nature, or exercising. When you're in a positive environment, it becomes easier to maintain a positive mindset because you're continually feeding yourself with energy and inspiration that supports your well-being. Another aspect of focusing on daily positivity is learning to reframe challenges. Life is full of difficulties, and avoiding them isn't possible. However, how you interpret and respond to these challenges makes all the difference. When you encounter a setback, instead of seeing it as a failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can this make me stronger? By shifting your perspective, you can see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than obstacles that stand in your way. This doesn't mean downplaying the difficulty of the situation, but rather choosing to look for the silver lining, or the lesson that can be gained. It's important to remember that positivity is a practice, not a destination. Some days will feel easier than others, and there will inevitably be moments when negativity creeps in. That's perfectly okay. The key is to be gentle with yourself and return to your positive practices as often as you can. Like any skill, focusing on daily positivity takes time and effort to develop, but the rewards are well worth it. Over time, you'll notice that you approach life with more joy, resilience, and a sense of empowerment. Ultimately, focusing on daily positivity isn't about being happy all the time or avoiding life's challenges. It's about making the conscious choice to see the good, to appreciate the small moments of joy, and to create an inner environment that supports your well-being. When you do this, you not only uplift your own life, but you also become a source of positivity for those around you. And in doing so, you contribute to a world that is just a little bit brighter. Success is not something that happens overnight. It's a journey that begins with small, intentional actions that build over time. Just like planting seeds in a garden, the process of achieving success starts with planting the right seeds in your mind, heart. These seeds are your thoughts, habits, and decisions, which when nurtured consistently grow into the results you desire. It's easy to look at someone who has achieved their goals and think they got lucky or had an easy path. But the truth is that success is often the result of consistent effort, dedication, and a willingness to plant those initial seeds, even when there's no immediate reward. One of the most important seeds you can plant on your path to success is belief in yourself. Self-belief is like the soil that nourishes all other efforts. Without it, no matter how hard you work or how much you try, your progress will be stunted because you won't truly believe you're capable of success. Belief is the foundation that everything else is built on. It's the internal assurance that no matter how many obstacles you face or how many setbacks come your way, you have what it takes to overcome them and move forward. When you plant the seed of belief, you open yourself to possibilities, and this belief will carry you through when times get tough. Next, consider the seed of action. Success doesn't come from wishful thinking or daydreaming about what could be. It comes from taking consistent, focused action toward your goals. Even the smallest actions, when taken regularly, have the power to create massive results over time. Just like watering a plant every day, these small efforts add up. Every step you take brings you closer to your goals, even if it feels insignificant in the moment. The key is to start, to keep moving, and to trust that these actions will eventually pay off. It's about progress, not perfection, and understanding that each action, no matter how small, is a crucial part of your success story. Another crucial seed is the seed of discipline. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation fades or when the path to success becomes difficult. It's easy to start something new with enthusiasm, but true success requires the discipline to keep going when the excitement wears off. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making choices that align with your goals, even when it's tempting to take the easy way out. Over time, this kind of discipline becomes a habit, and habits are what create long-term success. By planting the seed of discipline, you ensure that you will stay committed to your journey, no matter what challenges arise. The seed of patience is also essential for success. Just like a seed doesn't grow into a tree overnight, success takes time to manifest. In a world where we often expect instant results, it's important to remember that meaningful success is a gradual process. Patience allows you to stay focused on your long-term vision, even when immediate results are not visible. It's about trusting the process and understanding that every stage of growth is necessary, even if it's not always apparent. When you plant the seed of patience, you give yourself the space to grow at your own pace without becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks or delays. Another important seed is resilience. Along the path to success, you will inevitably face obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt. Resilience is what allows you to bounce back from these challenges, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward. It's about viewing failures not as the end of the road, but as opportunities to grow and improve. Resilience gives you the strength to persevere when others might give up. By planting the seed of resilience, you cultivate the inner strength necessary to weather any storm and come out stronger on the other side. Lastly, the seed of vision is critical to achieving success. Having a clear vision of what you want to achieve serves as your guiding light. It gives you direction and purpose, helping you stay focused on your goals even when distractions arise. Your vision is the blueprint for your success. It defines where you want to go and what you're willing to do to get there. Without a vision, it's easy to drift through life without a sense of purpose, but with a clear vision, you are empowered to take purposeful action toward your dreams. When you plant the seed of vision, you set your intention for the future and create a roadmap to guide your efforts. In the end, planting the seeds of success is about more than just hoping for a better future. It's about taking concrete, intentional steps to create that future. Whether it's belief in yourself, disciplined action, patience, resilience, or a clear vision, each of these seeds plays a crucial role in your journey. Just as a garden requires consistent care and attention, so too does your path to success. With time, effort, and nurturing, these seeds will grow into the life you've envisioned, and the results will be worth the wait. Success is a process, and every seed you plant brings you one step closer to realizing your full potential. Trusting in the process is one of the most valuable mindsets you can adopt when striving for personal growth, success, or any significant change in life. In a world driven by instant gratification, where quick results are often expected, it can be easy to become discouraged when things don't happen immediately or as planned. However, true success and transformation take time, consistency, and patience. Trusting the process means having faith in the journey itself, even when you cannot yet see the final outcome. It's about understanding that each step, no matter how small or challenging, is contributing to your progress, and that the journey is just as important as the destination. When you trust in the process, you release the need for control over every detail and outcome. It's natural to want to plan everything meticulously, but life doesn't always work that way. There will be moments when things don't go according to plan, when unexpected challenges arise, or when progress seems slower than anticipated. Trusting the process is about accepting that these detours are part of the journey. They often bring valuable lessons that help you grow and prepare you for the future. It's about understanding that setbacks don't define your overall trajectory. They are simply part of the learning curve. When you trust that everything is unfolding in the right time and in the right way, you free yourself from the anxiety of having to control every outcome. One of the key aspects of trusting the process is patience. In a world where we are accustomed to quick fixes, it can be challenging to wait for results, but anything worth achieving takes time to develop. Just like a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your goals and dreams need time to come to fruition. When you plant a seed, you don't expect it to sprout into a fully grown tree overnight. You water it, nurture it, and give it sunlight, trusting that it will grow in due time. The same principle applies to life goals and personal development. It's easy to feel frustrated when progress seems slow, but trusting the process requires you to cultivate patience and recognize that progress is being made, even when it's not immediately visible. Another important aspect of trusting the process is resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and the road to success or personal fulfillment is rarely a straight line. There will be obstacles, failures, and moments of self-doubt along the way. But trusting the process means believing that you can overcome these challenges and that each one is an opportunity for growth. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward even when things get tough. When you trust in the process, you see these obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones that are guiding you toward your ultimate goal. Each challenge you face teaches you something valuable, whether it's about yourself, your abilities, or the path you're on. Trusting the process also means embracing uncertainty. We often want to know exactly how things will turn out before we take action, but life rarely offers guarantees. There will always be some level of uncertainty, and part of the journey is learning to be okay with that. When you trust in the process, you let go of the need to know every detail of how things will unfold. Instead, you focus on taking one step at a time, knowing that each step will bring you closer to where you need to be. Embracing uncertainty can be freeing because it allows you to stay open to new possibilities and opportunities that you might not have considered if you were rigidly focused on one specific outcome. Consistency is another critical factor in trusting the process. Success, whether in your personal life, career, or relationships, doesn't come from sporadic efforts, but from consistent actions over time. Trusting the process means showing up every day, even when you don't see immediate results. It means putting in the work, staying committed to your goals, and knowing that your efforts will pay off in the long run. Consistency compounds over time. And while the progress may seem small at first, it builds momentum. The results of your efforts may not be visible for weeks, months, or even years, but that doesn't mean you aren't moving forward. Trust that your consistent efforts are laying the foundation for future success. Mindset plays a significant role in trusting the process. A positive and growth-oriented mindset allows you to see every experience, good or bad, as part of your journey. When you approach life with an open mind and a willingness to learn, you begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as setbacks. Trusting the process is about shifting your perspective and seeing the bigger picture. It's about understanding that every step you take, even the missteps, is bringing you closer to your desired outcome. In the end, trusting the process is an act of faith in yourself, your abilities, and the journey ahead. It's about believing that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment, and that with patience, resilience, and consistency, you will reach your goals. Success is not always linear, and life's path is full of twists and turns. But when you trust the process, you allow yourself to embrace the journey, confident that everything is unfolding in its own perfect timing. To let go of the need for immediate results, trust in the work you are doing, and know that in time, the seeds you are planting will blossom into the success you seek.